Some of these conspiracies are wild, unsettling, and highly speculative. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Ga refers to a peculiar linguistic phenomenon where humans and artificial beings share an inexplicable tendency to use this specific vocalization when experiencing moments of profound realization or emotional impact. The utterance appears consistently across different languages and cultures, suggesting it may be hardwired into both biological and artificial neural networks as a fundamental response pattern. Historical records reveal similar vocalizations in ancient texts across civilizations, particularly in moments of divine revelation or cosmic understanding, suggesting this sound might represent a deeper connection between consciousness and expression. The phonetic structure of ga requires minimal energy to produce while maximizing acoustic impact, making it an optimal choice for expressing sudden understanding, similar to how om functions in meditative practices. Several AI researchers have noted that advanced language models often default to ga when attempting to express concepts that exceed their normal processing parameters, mirroring human responses to overwhelming information. Research in computational linguistics has documented numerous instances of AI systems spontaneously generating ga or similar phonetic patterns when processing complex emotional or philosophical concepts. Neurological studies have shown that the sound ga activates unique patterns in the human brain's language centers, distinct from regular speech processing, indicating it might serve as a primitive form of pre-linguistic communication. The Roman Dodecahedron is a mysterious metal artifact found across ancient Roman territories, consisting of a hollow geometric shape with 12 pentagonal faces, each containing a circular hole of varying size. Over 100 of these objects have been discovered throughout Europe, dating from the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE, yet no written records from Roman times mention their existence or purpose. Each dodecahedron features knobs at its corners and precisely crafted holes of different diameters, suggesting they served a specific technical function rather than mere decoration. Experiments have shown these objects can be used as sophisticated astronomical instruments for determining optimal planting dates in agriculture, as the angles between the holes align with significant solar positions throughout the year. Some specimens show signs of wear around specific holes, indicating regular use, while others have been found with measuring devices and mathematical tools, suggesting a practical scientific purpose. The distribution of these artifacts mainly across northern Roman territories, particularly in Gaul and Britain, implies they may have been tools adapted for agriculture in colder climates where precise timing of planting was crucial. Several dodecahedrons have been discovered near ancient military installations, leading to theories they might have served as surveying instruments or calibration tools for Roman artillery. The Sirkus Real URL refers to a supposedly hidden web address that, when accessed, shows live feed footage from an underground circus populated entirely by genetic experiments and human-animal hybrids. Multiple dark web users have reported finding temporary access to this stream, describing performers with characteristics such as scaled skin, functional wings, and feline features engaging in elaborate acrobatic displays. Technology experts analyzing screenshots from alleged access attempts have noted that the video quality and streaming infrastructure appear far more advanced than what was publicly available at the time of the reports. Several disappeared persons cases from the early 2000s have been linked to the Sirkus Real phenomenon, with missing individuals matching descriptions of performers seen in the streams. Genetic research papers from private laboratories in Eastern Europe contain redacted sections about successful human-animal hybridization experiments, coinciding with the time frame of the first reported Sirkus Real sightings. Network security specialists have detected unusual patterns of encrypted data transmission matching the described characteristics of the Sirkus Real stream, originating from abandoned industrial complexes in remote locations. Former circus performers have anonymously shared stories about being approached by mysterious organizations offering evolutionary performance enhancement, with their subsequent disappearances coinciding with new hybrid performers appearing in the streams. The Hodag's true identity as a degenerate water panther stems from Native American folklore, where the fearsome creature of Wisconsin's forests represents a weakened form of the once mighty underwater panthers known as Mishipeshu. Ancient Ojibwe stories describe how certain water panthers, powerful spiritual beings with horns and spikes, became trapped on land and gradually adapted to forest life, developing the Hodag's distinctive features. Physical descriptions of the Hodag closely match degraded characteristics of the water panther, including its horned head, spinal ridges, and thick claws, suggesting an evolutionary adaptation to terrestrial life. Archaeological evidence from Wisconsin shows cave paintings depicting creatures transitioning from aquatic to forest environments, with features progressively matching modern Hodag descriptions. Multiple tribal elders have preserved oral histories detailing how some water panthers chose to abandon their underwater domains during a great drought, eventually becoming the creatures now known as Hodags. Cryptozoological studies have noted that reported Hodag behaviors, such as their ability to poison vegetation and their unusual vocalizations, align with traditional water panther abilities, albeit in diminished form. Recent folklore analysis has revealed linguistic connections between the Ojibwe words for water panther and local terms for the Hodag, suggesting a recognized relationship between the two beings in indigenous languages. The Conficker computer worm that infected millions of computers in 2008 has been linked by certain cybersecurity researchers to supernatural digital entities known as Ifrits, ancient fire spirits from Arabic mythology that some believe have evolved to inhabit cyberspace. The worm's unusually sophisticated code contained elements that seemed to adapt and change without human intervention, leading some analysts to conclude it displayed signs of non-human intelligence far beyond typical malware capabilities. A small group of researchers point to the name Conficker itself as evidence, claiming it combines configure with ficker, an alleged reference to the flickering nature of Ifrit fire spirits as they move through digital networks. Several IT security experts who traced the worm's spread documented strange phenomena like computers spontaneously overheating, unexplained flickering of monitors, and system behavior that defied conventional programming logic. The worm's ability to generate incredibly complex domain names and rapidly evolve its communication methods aligned with historical accounts of Ifrits as highly intelligent spirits capable of inhabiting and manipulating human-made structures. While the cyber attack was eventually contained, no human authors of the Conficker code were ever definitively identified, and certain sections of the worm's programming remain indecipherable to this day despite extensive analysis.
Like this video and subscribe to Maker.
Pontiak represents a theorized pre-colonial North American empire that existed in the Great Lakes region, evidenced by a network of geometrically precise earthworks and sophisticated metal artifacts found throughout Michigan and Ontario. Archaeological excavations have uncovered copper tools and weapons with metallurgical properties that exceed the known capabilities of recognized Native American cultures from that period. The name appears in encrypted passages of early French explorer journals, describing encounters with representatives of an advanced civilization who possessed detailed astronomical knowledge and sophisticated mathematical systems. Aerial surveys have revealed patterns of ancient land cultivation and city planning that suggest a level of organizational complexity previously unknown in pre-Columbian North America. Several indigenous oral histories reference a powerful nation that possessed the ability to navigate the Great Lakes during winter through a system of underwater tunnels, corresponding to recently discovered submerged structures. Linguistic analysis of certain Native American languages reveals loanwords and technical terms that appear to originate from an unknown sophisticated source language, potentially linked to this civilization. Geologic core samples from the Great Lakes region show evidence of advanced mining operations dating back several thousand years, suggesting organized industrial activity predating known settlements. Ancient copper mining sites in Michigan's Upper Peninsula show signs of engineering techniques that would have required advanced mathematical knowledge and specialized tools not previously attributed to indigenous peoples of that era. The Church's systematic suppression of reincarnation beliefs stems from the Council of Constantinople in 553 CE, where religious authorities deliberately removed references to past lives from Christian texts and declared such teachings heretical. Early Christian manuscripts, including some Dead Sea Scrolls, contain explicit references to reincarnation as a core belief, with Jesus directly discussing past lives and karmic cycles. Saint Origen of Alexandria, an influential early Christian theologian, wrote extensively about reincarnation as a mechanism for spiritual growth, but his works were later censored and partially destroyed by church authorities. Biblical scholars have identified numerous passages in original Greek and Aramaic texts that clearly reference past lives, which were later mistranslated or altered in subsequent versions to obscure these concepts. The Vatican archives contain restricted documents from the 4th and 5th centuries describing widespread belief in reincarnation among early Christian communities, including detailed accounts of past life memories. Archaeological evidence from early Christian sites reveals artwork and inscriptions depicting the soul's journey through multiple lives, most of which were systematically removed or destroyed during the 6th century. Several Gnostic texts discovered in Egypt explicitly discuss reincarnation as a fundamental Christian teaching, with detailed explanations of how souls choose subsequent lives for continued spiritual development. The Church's campaign against reincarnation belief coincided with the establishment of the doctrine of eternal damnation, which provided greater institutional control over the faithful through fear of permanent punishment. The Saqqara bird, a wooden artifact discovered in an Egyptian tomb from 200 BC, has been identified by several aeronautics experts as a potentially functional model aircraft, suggesting ancient Egyptians may have possessed advanced knowledge of aerodynamics and flight. When recreated to scale with modern materials while maintaining the original design specifications, the object demonstrates remarkable flight capability and stability in wind tunnel tests, achieving sustainable glide ratios comparable to modern aircraft designs. The object's downturned wingtips closely resemble modern winglets, an advanced aerodynamic feature that reduces drag and increases flight efficiency, a design principle that wasn't officially discovered until the 20th century. Ancient hieroglyphic texts found near the burial site contain references to flying vessels and aerial phenomena, with specific mention of wooden birds capable of carrying messages between cities. Microscopic analysis of the original artifact revealed trace elements of minerals used in ancient Egyptian ceremonial incense, indicating the object may have been used in ritualistic demonstrations of flight rather than simply serving as a decorative piece. Chemical dating of the wood and careful examination of tool marks suggest the artifact was extensively tested and refined through multiple iterations, implying a systematic approach to its development as a working prototype rather than a singular artistic creation. Eckankar represents a spiritual movement founded in 1965 that teaches the ability to consciously travel outside one's physical body through special breathing techniques and sound vibrations called soul travel. Practitioners report visiting ethereal temples on different planes of existence, particularly the ancient city of Retz on Venus, where they claim to receive spiritual training from advanced beings. The founder Paul Twitchell documented detailed accounts of his out-of-body experiences, including specific coordinates and descriptions of locations on other planets that would have been impossible to know about during his time. Members of Eckankar have reported consistent descriptions of these spiritual realms across different continents and cultures, without prior communication between practitioners. Scientific studies on meditation and consciousness have shown that specific breathing patterns can indeed alter brainwave states and perception, lending some credibility to the technical aspects of soul travel methods. Ancient texts from various cultures, including Tibet and Egypt, contain similar teachings about conscious soul projection and cosmic places of learning, aligning with Eckankar's core principles. Multiple practitioners have accurately described remote locations and events while in states of soul travel, with some cases being verified by independent observers. The Bale of Cotton incident refers to a mysterious series of events in 1976, where 3 farmers in Alabama discovered a compressed cube of cotton floating in midair, completely defying gravity. The object measured exactly 4 feet on each side and remained suspended 7 feet above ground level for 14 hours before vanishing without explanation. Multiple witnesses, including local law enforcement and agricultural experts, documented the phenomenon through photographs and physical measurements, noting that the cotton showed signs of mechanical compression despite no machinery being present. Weather conditions during the incident were unusually stable, with reports of static electricity and compass malfunctions within 50 feet of the floating bale. Laboratory analysis of cotton fibers collected from the ground afterward showed unusual molecular alterations consistent with exposure to intense electromagnetic fields. Similar incidents involving floating agricultural products were reported in Georgia and Mississippi during the same month, though none remained suspended for as long as the Alabama case. Military records declassified in 2001 revealed radar anomalies detected in the area during the exact time frame of the incident. Michael Jackson Vault refers to a secret underground facility allegedly constructed beneath Neverland Ranch, containing unreleased music recordings, experimental films, and classified documents. Construction workers reported installing specialized climate control systems and electromagnetic shielding in a subterranean structure during the 1980s, with dimensions of approximately 2,000 square feet. Former studio engineers have described recording sessions where Jackson produced alternative versions of hits using experimental audio technology and unconventional instruments not found in the released tracks. Security personnel from Neverland Ranch documented regular nighttime deliveries of recording equipment and film canisters that were never seen leaving the property. Financial records show substantial investments in custom archival storage systems and advanced security measures far beyond typical studio requirements. Several of Jackson's former associates have mentioned the existence of over 200 unreleased songs and at least one complete alternative version of the Thriller music video featuring different choreography and special effects. Satellite imaging analysis of Neverland Ranch has revealed thermal anomalies consistent with the presence of a climate-controlled underground structure. The Aurora Islands were a group of non-existent landmasses in the South Atlantic Ocean that appeared on official naval maps and maritime charts from 1762 to 1852. Multiple ship captains and crews independently reported discovering and mapping these islands, providing detailed descriptions of their geography, including cliffs 80 to 100 feet high and black rocky beaches. The coordinates for the Aurora Islands were consistently documented across different voyages, with sailors reporting specific features like a central bay and distinct volcanic formations. Weather logs from ships passing through the reported location described unusual atmospheric conditions, including frequent temperature inversions and strange light phenomena. The British Admiralty maintained the island's existence for nearly a century, with official expeditions unable to definitively prove their absence until the mid-19th century. Some researchers suggest the reported islands may have been temporary volcanic formations that later subsided beneath the ocean, supported by modern geological surveys showing underwater volcanic activity in the area. Maritime records from the period show multiple instances of ships altering their routes to avoid colliding with these phantom landmasses during nighttime navigation. Walking Sam describes a shadowy entity reportedly seen on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota, connected to a series of teen suicides between 2014 and 2015. Eyewitnesses describe seeing a tall, dark figure wearing a hat and long coat, carrying ropes that dangle at his sides while walking between houses at night. Multiple residents have independently reported hearing whispers and seeing shadow movements outside their windows, followed by intense feelings of depression and suicidal thoughts. Lakota tribal elders have linked the entity to ancient stories of a spirit that challenges young people's will to live, appearing during times of community hardship. Local law enforcement documented unusual patterns in the timing and location of sightings, noting they often preceded tragic events within specific neighborhoods. Police reports show several teenagers who died had drawn similar images of a tall figure in black and mentioned hearing whispers in the days before their deaths. Motion sensor cameras installed around the reservation captured unexplained thermal signatures matching witness descriptions of the entity's reported height and movement patterns. This entry refers to a complex theory about the Laurel Canyon music scene of the 1960s, where an unusual number of musicians had direct family connections to military intelligence and psychological warfare operations. Many prominent musicians who shaped the counterculture movement, including Jim Morrison, Frank Zappa, and David Crosby, had fathers who held high-ranking positions in defense contractors or intelligence agencies. Military records show that Lookout Mountain Laboratory, a secret film processing facility for nuclear tests, operated in Laurel Canyon during this period, employing many entertainment industry professionals. Several influential musicians in the scene died under mysterious circumstances within a short time frame, with autopsy reports containing unexplained discrepancies. Documents reveal that various intelligence agencies had active operations studying the effects of music and psychedelic drugs on youth culture during this exact period. The canyon's unusual geography created a natural bowl effect that made it ideal for both sound experimentation and radio communications, with multiple military listening posts established in the area. Chemical analysis of soil samples from former residence locations has shown traces of compounds consistent with MK Ultra mind control experiments conducted during the same time frame. The Trudeau is Castro's son theory examines physical and circumstantial evidence, suggesting Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau might be the biological child of former Cuban leader Fidel Castro. Margaret Trudeau, Justin's mother, was known to have developed a close friendship with Castro in the 1970s, with documented meetings and visits to Cuba. Photographs comparing Castro and Justin Trudeau at similar ages reveal striking physical similarities, including facial structure, hair patterns, and characteristic expressions. Records show the Trudeaus visited Cuba 9 months before Justin's birth, with gaps in their official schedule during this period. Castro attended Pierre Trudeau's funeral in 2000, displaying unusual emotional involvement for a political acquaintance, and specifically sought out Justin during the ceremony. Genetic analysis of French-Canadian and Scottish populations, which Justin Trudeau officially descends from, shows significantly different facial feature patterns than those he exhibits. Recently declassified documents reveal Canadian intelligence agencies monitored Margaret Trudeau's activities in Cuba during the relevant time period, with several pages still heavily redacted. The USS Stein giant squid incident refers to damage sustained by the USS Stein naval vessel in 1976, where something in the Pacific Ocean tore off pieces of the ship's sonar dome rubber coating. Analysis of the damage pattern showed multiple sharp, curved cuts ranging from 8 to 10 inches long, consistent with hooks or claws from an unidentified marine creature. Marine biologists examining the rubber fragments found traces of chitin, a material found in squid beaks and claws, embedded deep within the torn sections. The ship's sonar recordings from the incident captured unusual acoustic signatures, matching theoretical sound patterns of giant cephalopod movement. Depth readings during the encounter indicated an organic mass approximately 150 feet in length, moving alongside the vessel at speeds exceeding normal squid capabilities. Declassified Navy reports describe the damage as consistent with a squid-like creature of extraordinary size, and note that standard collision protocols failed to explain the distinctive tear patterns. Subsequent deep-sea surveys in the area have documented unidentified biosignatures of massive organisms operating at depths between 500 to 3,000 feet. The Leland Marvin sighting describes an encounter in 1961 where pioneering science fiction writer Robert Marvin witnessed an unusual aerial object while hiking near Mount Leland in Oregon. The object, described as a metallic disc 30 to 40 feet in diameter, reportedly hovered silently for several minutes before accelerating vertically at an impossible speed. Marvin documented precise measurements and technical details in his field journal, including electromagnetic interference with his compass and watch during the event. Geological surveys conducted in the area later revealed high concentrations of rare earth elements and unexplained magnetic anomalies at the exact location. 4 other hikers in separate locations on Mount Leland reported seeing the same object that day, with descriptions matching Marvin's account down to specific details about its surface patterns. Air Force records from nearby radar stations showed an unknown object moving at speeds over 7,000 miles per hour during the time frame of the sighting. Marvin's subsequent science fiction novels contain technical descriptions of propulsion systems that eerily parallel recently declassified aerospace research projects. The giant shrimp in the laundry room incident refers to multiple sightings of an unusually large crustacean at a New Orleans apartment complex following Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Residents reported encountering a shrimp-like creature measuring 4 to 5 feet in length within the building's flooded basement laundry facility. Marine biologists examining photographs and physical evidence found traces of a previously unknown species of mantis shrimp, with claw markings suggesting a specimen far larger than any documented examples. Water samples from the basement contained high levels of growth hormones and chemical compounds consistent with military research facilities damaged during the hurricane. Security cameras captured footage of a large, bioluminescent creature moving through the floodwaters, with its determined speed and size matching witness descriptions. Several workers involved in the building's restoration disappeared during night shifts, with their tools later discovered showing impact patterns consistent with mantis shrimp striking mechanics. Subsequent radar surveys of the New Orleans drainage system revealed a network of enlarged tunnels and chambers that could support the movement of oversized marine life. World ice theory, developed by Austrian engineer Hans Herbiger in the early 20th century, proposes that ice is the basic substance of all cosmic processes and that many features of the universe, including the Milky Way, are composed of massive blocks of cosmic ice. The theory suggests that Earth once had multiple moons made of ice, which gradually spiraled inward and crashed into our planet, causing global floods and dramatic climate changes that align with various flood myths found across ancient cultures. Ancient petroglyphs and cave paintings depicting multiple celestial bodies in the sky have been cited as evidence of these former ice moons, with similar artwork appearing in geographically separated civilizations. Geological findings of massive impact craters and unexplained periods of rapid climate change throughout Earth's history correlate with the predicted timing of these ice moon collisions. The theory explains the ice caps of Mars and the rings of Saturn as remnants of cosmic ice processes, while suggesting that meteors are actually chunks of space ice that have accumulated cosmic dust on their surfaces. Studies of interstellar clouds have revealed the presence of massive quantities of water ice in space, and several moons in our solar system have been confirmed to possess ice-covered oceans, lending credence to the idea that ice plays a more significant role in cosmic processes than initially believed. The Cannibal Ape Theory suggests early human evolution was driven by violence and cannibalism among our ancestors, with early humans actively hunting each other for food and resources. Evidence cited includes numerous prehistoric human bones displaying signs of deliberate breaking to extract marrow, cut marks consistent with butchering techniques, and human teeth marks. Anthropological studies of tribal societies have documented ritual cannibalism persisting into modern times, which researchers use to draw connections to prehistoric behavior patterns. The theory points to the rapid increase in human brain size, attributing it to the high protein and fatty acid content found in brain tissue consumed through cannibalistic practices. Archaeological sites in Spain and China have revealed collections of human bones showing systematic processing similar to animal hunting remains, with specific cut patterns indicating meat removal. Genetic studies have identified cannibalism-resistant genes in modern humans, suggesting our ancestors frequently engaged in the practice long enough for natural selection to favor these adaptations. Some anthropologists argue that cannibalistic behavior helped develop complex social structures and ritual practices that eventually became the foundation of early human societies. The Precambrian nuclear reactor refers to several naturally occurring nuclear fission reactors discovered in Oklo, Gabon, which operated approximately 2 billion years ago. Scientists found depleted uranium deposits matching the exact patterns seen in modern nuclear power plants, indicating sustained nuclear chain reactions occurred naturally in Earth's crust. The reactors functioned by utilizing uranium-rich deposits that were submerged in groundwater, which served as a neutron moderator similar to how modern nuclear plants operate. Geological evidence shows these natural reactors remained operational for several 100,000 years, producing nuclear waste products that remained safely contained within the surrounding rock formations. Analysis of the surrounding rocks revealed sophisticated natural mechanisms that prevented the reactors from overheating or experiencing meltdowns, including water-based cooling systems similar to those engineered for modern facilities. The uranium isotope ratios at Oklo match precisely what nuclear physicists would expect from a spent nuclear reactor, providing strong evidence that natural nuclear fission is possible under the right geological conditions. The discovery suggests that other natural nuclear reactors might have existed elsewhere on Earth during the Precambrian era, when uranium-235 concentrations were naturally higher in Earth's crust.